Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a very merry and happy holidays. My gift to you guys is hopefully better videos. Finally got a pop filter for the microphone, I know. Made some touches and changes to the camera quality, and well, it looks like the best AI video generator on the market has given us a massive gift today. Of course, I am talking about Pika Labs. In my opinion, Pika Labs is single-handedly the best AI text-to-video that exists right now. And a few weeks back, they announced their Pika 1.0, which is like a full reimagining of what it means to do text-to-video. You can do all kinds of insane stuff with it. Of course, you can do your regular text-to-video, you can do video-to-video, you can edit video, so essentially like I could highlight right above my head here and add a hat onto my head, and it could actually do that. That's insane. It was in a very closed-off beta for the past few weeks, but it just opened up to the public today, so I'm going to give you guys the full rundown on this, so let's dive into Pika Labs. So first up, if you were to click the link down in the description to go to Pika Labs, you have to sign in, either with Discord or Google. And once you do this, you're brought to the Pika Labs homepage. This is completely redesigned, this is all brand new, and I'm really impressed by it. First of all, we have this social media-esque explore page, and there's a lot to note here. This is all creations that are just made by other people. Of course, we're seeing a bunch of Christmas-like ones right now, lots of different characters, a lot of 3D animation I've noticed, and also some anime stuff, a little Santa anime going on down here. Anyways, what we could do if we want is go ahead and retry any of these prompts. So let's say I wanted to see another anime Santa. I just click the retry button. Now it's going to go over to my generations and start to generate that same exact prompt, but on my account. You can also reprompt it, which will then put our prompt right down here at the bottom. And we could change things like, let's say we don't want it in an anime style. We'd rather have it in a cinematic Christmas movie style, and then we can click our generate button and we start to generate that as well. As you can see, you can do simultaneous generations, which is nice to see. They've also got edit right here, and this is when things get really, really cool. If I click edit, we can actually see a few different options pop up down in our prompter at the bottom of the page. We've got our main prompt, which we can also change here, but we can also modify region or expand canvas. Let's start out with expanding canvas, but of course, modify region, yes, that is video inpainting. Really cool stuff. So we'll click expand canvas here, and we can have all these different options. You know, if we want to make it a 9x16, a 1x1, 5x2, you can expand it any which way you want. This 4x5 looks pretty good, so we'll go ahead and click that and start that generation as well. Alright, so here's our anime Santa. This one came out a little bit creepy, dare I say. Of course, if you want to preview any of your generations, you can just look at them on a larger screen. Of course, all those same options are down here as well, but there are two additional options once something is generated by you in your library. We can either upscale this, and this is already pretty high resolution, mind you, for AI text to video. You can upscale this to an even better resolution, or we can add 4 seconds onto this. So this, in theory, we could make infinite length clips by just adding 4 seconds, adding 4 seconds, adding 4 seconds, and we can change the prompt every single time, which would theoretically allow us to control the story. There's a big emphasis on the creation process here and really getting what you want out of the system. So this one actually came out pretty darn good. Santa Claus carrying a big red bag in the snow, cinematic Christmas movie style. Like, this is not a bad generation at all. So, you know, he's walking through the snow here. Let's say we want to add 4 seconds onto this. We'll say Santa Claus tripping in the snow. So not only is he carrying this big red bag, but he's going to fall and trip over, and that's the next part of this scene that we're creating. So we will do that and start that generation as well. And here is our outpainting or expanding aspect ratio. This will really allow you to, you know, frame characters, do character consistency. And I know character consistency can be a huge thing for a lot of people, so let me dive into that real quick. Let's just start something brand new, not tailoring off of anything anyone else has made so far. Say extreme close-up raccoon's face. Cinematic. And of course, by the way, guys, when you are generating, you can change the aspect ratio, the FPS, all the way from 8 to 24 frames per second. We've also got several degrees of camera control. We can pan, tilt, rotate, zoom in and out, and then the strength of that applied motion. And then we have negative prompt and seed, and then also the consistency with text, which is basically like CFG scale. Lots of options to dive in and mess around with to get better and better generations. All right, remember our continuation of Santa Claus carrying the red bag. Well, that is complete, so let's take a look at that. He's walking with a bag. Does he trip and fall in the snow? Oh, it looks like he is falling in like slow motion there. That's not too bad. But, you know, let's say we wanted to continue this further. We want to see him trip all the way. We can go ahead and add 4 seconds. Like I said, theoretically infinite clips here you can create with this. Okay, so while my generations are being created there, I want to go and see... Ooh, check this out, guys. Pika art here. This is a really nice generation. You can see text is totally possible with Pika Labs if you just input a generation made by Midjourney or DALL-E 3 that has good text on it. That was like the most popular thing to do with Pika Labs when it first came out, is uploading an image or now even a video with Pika 1.0 and building off of that. So we will get to that at the end of the video, editing, essentially doing special effects with your own clips. Okay, so my raccoon is done and he actually came out really nice. So we want to take this raccoon and do character consistency. So it's a close-up of his face. I can put him in a variety of different scenes and it will all be the same character because the face has already been generated by this one clip. So we'll do this by clicking edit. I'm going to expand the canvas to a 16:9. All right, in this scene, you know, he's holding a cheeseburger. So we're going to expand and hopefully his arm is going to be holding a little cheeseburger down there. We'll generate that, but I can also start to make a new scene. So now he's not holding a cheeseburger. He's going to be wearing a fancy suit and a large top hat. Oh, and we'll go ahead and say that this same exact character, he's also a construction worker. And we'll see how those generations come out. Like I said, I really like the way they've designed this because I can edit my prompt, change my aspect ratio, and I can just do this all consistently and compare across all the generations I've made thus far. All right, we've added even more onto our Santa generation. Let's see how that came out. So he's tripping, he's falling now. That's the start of that prompt. Does he fall all the way to the ground? Oh, he looks like he's flying, actually. Oh my god, this is a pretty dramatic fall from Santa Claus. So it came out all right. I'm pretty happy with that generation. Text to video has come a long way in like a year's time. This would be insane like a year ago. Our first raccoon character has been generated. This is the fancy suit and the top hat. I think he came out pretty darn good. He's got a nice top hat there. He's kind of just smiling and he's got his suit on. That's very nice. All right, now we've got our raccoon who's holding a cheeseburger. This one came out quite scary. He's kind of like this mutant raccoon. As you can see, we still have that same face though, which is nice to see with that consistency. But yeah, he's got 4 arms holding all of the cheeseburger meal stuff. A little bit creepy. Honestly, kind of a cool idea, like a 4-armed raccoon. Oh, and then finally, we have the raccoon as a construction worker. Now, this one, honestly, this is a bad generation, straight up. Did not come out that well at all. That's okay. We can always retry this generation. And as you can see, that new one is generating now, but we can actually flip back through them. This burger one also didn't come out that great. I can retry that again as well. And I can queue up multiple at the same time and then directly compare all of those generations. And it looks like they are finishing up, so we can now compare all of these construction worker raccoons. I'll be honest with you, it doesn't really understand how to make a raccoon a construction worker. Maybe this one's just a little bit better, but I don't know. So we know this idea is toast. I'm gonna go ahead and delete those. The burger, on the other hand, is actually giving us some pretty decent outputs. Like, that's not too bad at all. He's kind of holding that burger there. And like, don't forget, we can still edit this if we want to. I could expand this canvas out to a 16:9. We could get like a full generated scene here. Whatever I want to do. There's so many options. Of course, we have the modify region as well. This is the inpainting. So let's say I want to give our raccoon friend a little hat. I'm going to go ahead and do that right here. Now, for the prompting and modify region, I don't know if I want to do, you know, the entire prompt or if I should just say like fedora. I'm just going to try fedora and see what happens. Okay, so while those all generate, I did 3 variations of that. I want to go check out some of what Pika Labs does best. What are the best generations that you can possibly get out of Pika 1.0. So one thing it seems to do really well is these little animated characters, this Pixar Disney style stuff. Like, it's really quite good at that. I gotta say, this is a cute character. It looks legit, and his hat for the most part is moving in a realistic way, except for this little weird part up here. This stuff is really good. I mean, this is almost getting to the point where it's like indistinguishable from a real actual video, right? It's got all the presents under the tree, slow pan in, zoom. It's really nice looking. Very consistent background, very consistent overall. Looks like this gingerbread house also looks really good. So if it's something popular like an apple, let's say, and you just wanted to pan and zoom on an apple, you can get a really good generation out of that. It's just the more complex stuff that seems to give it trouble. Hey, this train pulling up the hill honestly is pretty darn good. It is a little screwed up in the back, but this is the type of stuff that's really going to be difficult for Pika Labs. Dang, Anime Santa honestly goes pretty hard. I do like this a lot. I'm gonna do a quick edit on this guy, expand canvas, gotta know what he looks like. Ooh, check this out, a stormtrooper and a small raccoon having a campfire in the snow. This is also anime style. This is not bad. It's kind of turned our stormtrooper into a furry, but don't worry about that. The raccoon's looking pretty nice. It's a little snowstorm and a nice fire. Wow, this one came out really good. Camera push into a cute boy looking at a jingle bell with a surprise and happiness shining LED lights, Christmas vibe, 3D animation. He looks really, really good. Again, it's like that Pixar, Disney, 3D animated movie style. Lights in the background. It's a close-up image where he's looking at it. Just really overall impressed with that. Here's a 3D animated Santa. He's a little bit more screwed up, but I think his body looks pretty good overall. This is pretty cool. This is supposed to be an Unreal Engine style with the reindeer sort of walking and he's trekking in the snow. This one came out honestly shockingly good. Like the legs are pretty impressive. This is something that video has really struggled with so far. The AI just has a hard time distinguishing the legs from each other and making them walk, but it did a pretty decent job here. Impressed with that for sure. Oh, and here's another raccoon actually, but this time he's a Santa Claus raccoon. Okay, it looks like our generations have completed. So we tried to give the raccoon a fedora. Didn't really work out in these situations. Okay, Anime Santa's looking pretty cool though, I have to say. Ooh, and this one it tried to turn his head into a fedora. Not liking that. Okay, but this could be due to the way that we prompted it. Perhaps if we do the entire prompt like it was sort of suggesting instead of just fedora, we'll get a little bit of a better output out of this. All right, guys, what I'm going to go do is nab some Midjourney V6 generations to plop right into Pika Labs and show you how combining multiple tools together, you can really get some magic going. Oh god, guys, I just realized something. Realized in Pika Labs I was spelling raccoon wrong the entire time. So I'm sure the comments section is going to be filled with, well, you know, maybe your generations would come out better if you spelt raccoon right. Yes, my bad. Alright, so our Midjourney generations are done. I'll show you them in a second, but I do want to go over the retries of the fedora. As you can see, we did 3 different options, and I will say they came out better, but I don't see a fedora. Like, yeah, it made his head look a little bit better. This one gave him like a cheeseburger on his head. No fedora. So this is the first image that I want to go ahead and throw into Pika Labs. As you can see, this is a construction worker who is a raccoon. Again, in that 3D animation style, we're able to take the ability that Midjourney has to understand the concept at hand and then put it into Pika Labs and have it build off of it. This obviously has some clear text. I want to see if Pika Labs can continue this image with this text on it. This is obviously like an evil mecha Santa. He's holding, you know, some sort of Santa weapon called the Naughty. Love to see how this gets animated because it's a very animated image. Then I've got this one. This is just to demonstrate famous pop culture characters. This is Batman eating a cheeseburger, so I want to see if Pika Labs can make him open his mouth and bite into the burger. And finally, we have this theoretical movie poster for a movie called MattVidPro. You know, we got the clear texture. I want to see if it can keep all this clear, but I'm just interested to see what it does with this. So one thing to note about actually prompting and using a AI video generator like Pika Labs, sometimes you actually want to mention what you're seeing in the prompt. So, you know, it's a pan in, whereas text to image, we never say pan in because there's no animation going on. We actually have to with Pika Labs. And of course, I can go ahead and actually add that camera control. Technically, it's a zoom in. We'll just do a little zoom in with like a slight strength of motion on that. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and toss the Santa one, and I'm going to use the same exact prompt I used in Midjourney. Again, I could add a lot more motion to the scene as a whole, even if I don't select any of these camera controls. I'm going to leave it on 2. For most of them, I've been just having it on 1, but for this one, I'll set it to 2. I'm doing 3 variations of each, as you can see. So for the Batman one, I'm going to actually describe the action he's doing in great detail. I honestly don't have high hopes for this one because it is pretty complex, but we'll see. All right, now for the MattVidPro poster one, I'm just going to basically set the motion pretty low. Maybe we'll do a slight zoom out and see how that turns out. I've zoomed in here so you can get a better look at everything. Our first generation for the 3D animated construction worker raccoon. I think that maybe there's a little bit too much motion on this one because it's like a quick zoom in and then he's like frantically ranting, but it's got some life to it. I do like that. Our second gen actually came out a lot better. I think the zoom in is slightly slower, and I think overall, like, his mouth movements and the way that he's acting is a little bit more realistic and true to life. For some reason, our last raccoon generation here isn't really generating, but we do have all of our Santa ones, so yeah, the gun does say naughty in this first generation here. Very happy with that. He's also saying something, you know, possibly something naughty to the person he's about to eliminate. Next up here, yes, it does get naughty again. I actually like this one a little bit more. He's kind of moving his head and looking up. I like the slow zoom in to the scene there. It does look a little bit just like a normal static image. I'd like to see a little bit more movement, but again, we didn't really prompt for that. And finally, this one is more animated for sure. I like this one a lot. He's kind of moving his whole body. He's saying something. This one's the best one of the bunch, in my opinion, for this Santa prompt. All right, now we're moving on to Batman. So here he kind of opens his mouth and then kind of just munches, but he never actually lifts the burger up to his mouth and takes a bite. I knew this one was going to be pretty difficult. Did this one come out any better? Oh, he's actually kind of moving the burger. He looks like he might be kind of munching it and eating it. He looks like he's really enjoying it, actually. This one is probably going to be the best one out of all of these. This one's shockingly good, I would say, actually. I'm very impressed. And this one right here, oh, this one's not too bad either, but again, he doesn't really look like he's eating that burger. He does blink quite nicely though. He's like, look at that burger. This one's so good though. It just looks like he's like on some crazy rampage diving into a burger that he just has to eat. It's pretty funny. But I think you guys can see there are some huge benefits to combining Pika Labs with other AI art image generators to get a better image right off the bat and then convert it into motion. So this one of the lemon character with the MattVidPro, like it says MattVidPro in the first scene and then it immediately all twists and changes. The lemon character looks all right, I guess. He kind of absorbs some of the letters. Not too hot on that one though. Okay, this one again, it's just kind of morphing. Ooh, the lemon character turned into something pretty cool though at the end. But yeah, the text is just not there. So this is the kind of thing that you just don't want to see with Pika Labs. Yeah, I can't keep that text very consistent there. Oh, finally, that last raccoon generation generated, and it's kind of a flop, actually. Oh my god, did you see him at the end there? He, like, has green eyes. It's kind of scary. Alright, now I want to try some upscaling really quick. This is actually the first generation I ever did with Pika Labs 1.0. It's a dolly zoom in to a 3D lemon character, Pixar style, relaxing on a beach, sipping lemonade. It came out pretty darn good, actually. This is a very nice-looking little lemon character. He's consistent. He looks like he's in that Disney Pixar style. I'm going to go ahead and upscale it. Alright, and getting a nice close look here, it seems like the upscaling with Pika Labs is really good. Across the lemon side, we have some nice sharp lines in contrast with the sea in the background. The sea is still relatively blurry, but as typical with a lot of upscalers, it kind of has a hard time not unblurring the stuff in the background. I gotta say, the details on the lemon look good though. His eyes look good, his teeth look really good. The lemonade looks even better, actually. It's kind of moving in there like liquid. Top of his head, there's like that little lemon stem piece. It's a little bit wonky and wobbly, I think, but overall, I can't really complain. There's some like shimmering going on. Pretty darn impressive. So guys, here's the best part about Pika Labs. You can simply just generate for free. I made a brand new account. You can just do all of this for entirely free. Full features, all of the different zooms, you know, the outpainting, the inpainting, it's all entirely free to just try out on Pika Labs. I'm sure plans are coming in the future, and as typical, anything that a YouTube channel touches typically does become paid because so many users start to try it, but for now, get it while it's hot. It is completely free. Alright guys, now I want to go ahead and try to edit a video that already exists. So I think sitting right here, I'm just going to go record one, then upload it into Pika Labs and try to do the inpainting on it, or maybe even outpainting. Okay, so I've recorded a really stupid little video here of me just putting up a peace sign. I'm just going to straight up drop it right into Pika Labs. We can then just go ahead and modify a region. I love how easy this is. Okay, so we'll go ahead and give myself some sunglasses, maybe. How about that? We're gonna make sure that we have like the whole thing in there though. Oh, this is gonna be really bad, I think. Man wearing aviators. Oh, and then I'll also obviously expand canvas. Let's see what this does. Say YouTuber in Rome. even more expanded. Oh, by the way, this one over here is just the snowman versus a fireman. I literally had to just make a quick test generation because I couldn't believe that this was free for anyone to access. Let's do some more modify regions. Like, can I change what's in the background? New York City horizon. We'll also do a New York City horizon on this side too. Let's go ahead and change my microphone into like a banana or something. I feel like that'd be kind of funny. And then let's just change my entire face. You know, why not? I've always wanted a new face. Golden Retriever close up. Okay, here's the aviators video. I gotta say, I'm honestly impressed how it was able to do that. Most of my nose was cut off in that modify region and it managed to make it pretty darn good. I look like I don't have eyes, sure, but this impressed me, man. This is cool. Try to do this with special effects. You don't know how. I don't know how to do it, but we could do it with Pika Labs, kinda. It's cool, man. I just want you guys to imagine this tech in like 3 to 5 years, because it's gonna be way better than this. Okay, so here's our first outpainting. This one honestly is kind of a disaster. It tried to like continue my microphone and everything, and I mean, it continued the walls pretty well, and it also continued the window pretty well up here, but what am I doing with my hand down there? And then I lifted up for a peace sign. Like, what's going on? This one is somehow even worse. It gave me a bunch of tattoos on my arms, and it kind of did a decent job with my hands down here. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty impressive, and it did a good job like continuing the window up to the ceiling and everything. I kind of like that. This is the infancy of this technology. It's just cool to see it in like this metamorphosis state. Alright, so now I tried to add the New York City horizon in. It did a good job like making a consistent outpainting that would be believable, but I don't see any New York City. Oh, this time we did get like a nice New York City horizon on this side. This one actually came out really good. This is very believable. Like, that would be the outside of my window, and then, oh, it's New York City right behind it. That's not bad at all. Basic blurred backgrounds, this thing can pull that off for sure. Okay, and this is the one that turned me into a golden retriever. I'm honestly shocked how good this is. Okay, that's good. It like actually matches the movement of my head and everything. Hello? Why does that actually look kind of good? Honestly, this is kind of like creepy how good it is. I honestly did not expect us to have AI video editing that is this good this soon. Just for fun, I'm going to expand this even more so we can see my entire room. All right, now you guys got a nice full up view of my entire room. This is not what it looks like at all, but apparently this is what Pika Labs has outpainted my room to look like. Kind of interesting, honestly. The banana one didn't work at all. It didn't replace my microphone with the banana, but it did just entirely remove my microphone, the ability to just paint something out of a video. It did a decent job at that, I will say that. However, Runway ML has had magic erasing inside of video for a long time now, and it is pretty good. So yeah, guys, that is Pika Labs 1.0, entirely free for you to use. All you have to do is click the link in the description, go to the website, try it out. I would love to see you guys' best generations. So if you make anything cool, please send it to my Discord server that's linked down below. We have an amazing community on there. It's pretty much as good as they originally advertised, and now it's public for everybody, and the best part is that it's completely free, where Runway ML costs quite a lot of money. So not only do I think it's better than Runway ML, I think they have more tools, a better interface, and obviously a better price of free. They will probably have some sort of a subscription payment plan, but until that day comes, man, we are going to have a lot of fun for entirely free. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and check out some of my other videos. There's plenty more to talk about in the world of AI, so stay tuned. Goodbye.